Hey guys, it's Kirsten. So I think I'm going to use this picture to talk about layer masks, although I suspect it's emotionally in focus, which means let's see, I shot at f2, which is too shallow for, if you think of depth of field, f2 is like a couple inches, like 6 inches at best. So think about the kitty's feet, her elbow, his nose, and her nose is probably more not shallow, whatever the opposite of shallow is, than 6 inches. So my bad, but I love the picture anyway, and I love my little jet and my daughter and whatever. So the first thing I'm going to do here, actually, you know what? I probably shouldn't do much in ACR because then I can show you how to do layer masks. I'm going to do that. I'm not going to do anything. Oops, don't mind that. Sorry. I have a bad habit of doing that. Okay. So here is my just raw image. It's actually not too bad as far as focus goes. It's not terrible. So the first thing I'm going to do here is, let's just say, let's lighten her eyes. So I'm going to go to my adjustment layer. Let's go do curves for the, just why not? So automatically when you do a curves layer, it puts a layer mask on because now you have the control of putting it on or taking it off within the same layer. So what I like to do is use this little finger here, go where I want it lighter or darker. But hang on a second, there was a little delay there. Holy crap, hang on a second. We're gonna start again there. I didn't realize there was quite a delay. Okay, let's try this again. Okay, so we're gonna go up like that. But you can see that it affected the whole entire picture. I really don't want it on the whole picture. I want it on her eye. So what I'm going to do is click on the layer mask, Control I. So black conceals, white reveals. So black conceals. So it's concealed. So the curves layer that we just did is now hidden under this picture. So black and white brush is how we deal with the layer masks. So if it's a black layer mask, we want a white brush. So what you do, you click D first. D changes the brush to black and white. Then you click X until you get white on the foreground, which is the top. The brackets make your brushes bigger and littler. We're going to go kind of little. I'm going to bring the opacity high up here and then adjust it over here later. So now I can brush it on her eyes. Actually, her whole face needs it now that I'm looking at it. Okay, so I'm going to go like this. Oops. Oh no. I got a little bit on her shoulder. What am I going to do? I'm going to paint in her highlights too, or her hair. Okay, so let's just say we got the little... Okay, well, first of all, that's a little too bright, so I'm going to just go and lower the opacity over here to 75. Okay, but you can see right here, I got a big boo-boo. So if white reveals, black conceals. So I'm going to hit X to change the black and white color, and I'm going to paint it off. So let's just say I don't like it on her hair. I can paint it off her hair also. So now I have control to paint it on, paint it off. Maybe I want to do the kitty's eyes. But let's just say I went like that, and I was like, oh, oops. Now I can hit X again to make black go on top, and I can paint it off. So I have the control of going on, off of, anything that I am doing to the image. Okay. Once I get it to where I like flattening it. I know some people don't. I like it. I do this type of vignette all the time. I'm going to show you again where a layer mask comes in handy. So I'm going to click on the elliptical marquee. I put my feather like close to 600. If you hover over the word feather, see how it turns into the two-way arrow? So you can just go like that. You can hover and pull. just so you don't need to actually like click on stuff and type stuff. You can just quickly go like that. So I am going to just highlight her, and then you can move this around. Okay. You're going to do, I'm on a PC too. So Control Shift I inverts, so it makes what we're doing on the outside of the image, and then hit Control J. So that puts the outer edge of the picture on a separate layer. Now we're going to change it to either, let's see, multiply. I've been kind of liking hard light too, but I think I go back to liking multiply. Okay, but as you can see, some got on her head, and I don't like how it changes the color of her dress. I like what it does to the background, but I don't like that it got on her. So how are you going to take it off? You're going to put a layer mask on. So it's a white, so we have two options here, okay? Always. So I can keep it on, where I can see it, have a white layer mask, which means a black brush. Excuse me, we're going to hit the arrow key to make it big. And we're going to just brush it off her and Jet. I might actually lower, get a little bit off the foreground. Okay. That makes it look kind of like mystical, whatever. Okay, or here's another thing you can do. We're going to go back to the elliptical marquee, select her, Control Shift I, and then Control J. We're doing the same thing. Multiply, same exact thing. Layer mask, same exact thing. But now what we can do, we can just hit Control I. That will conceal the vignette. So the vignette is now hidden behind the picture. We can get a white brush, so hit X, because we already know they're black and white, so hit X to put white on top. We can paint on in layers, so we can, let's see, let's do 30%. We can kind of paint the vignette on. So instead of having the vignette on and then painting it off her, we're just painting it on the background. I'm going to try to put it at 100 just to see what 100 does. Okay. I like that. So another thing we can do is have, so the sun, which is the off-camera flash, is you can see that it's set up to my photographer's right. So one thing we can do, let's look at my light overlays. So place embedded, overlays, lights. I have some Florabella ones that I really like. I want some light like coming into the forest. Actually, some of these are not Florabella, just FYI. I wonder if something like that. Let's just see what it looks like. Well, it kind of cuts off here funny, so we'd have to kind of edit that. So let's double click there. Because it's a black background, you do the screen mode. I feel like, okay, let's do the move tool. So with the move tool and holding the shift key, we can at least have it hide behind her dress and lower the opacity down. Okay, but it's on her face a little bit weird. It cuts on her dress weird. So we're going to go ahead and put a layer mask, which is white. We're going to get a black brush, so hit X. Okay. And I'm not sure I'm going to love this. So that's the jury's still out. So I'm going to paint it off her dress. But you always make sure that you stay on the inside of the dress, not the outside. I'll show you what happens when you go on the outside. So if you go on the outside, let's just say I go like this. You see this a lot in newbies. Sorry, not to throw anyone under the bus. This is called getting a halo. You can see the halo around it where it was kind of painted on. So we're going to get rid of that. If you stay on the inside of the dress, you don't get the halo. Same thing with her hair. I might keep this on just for the sake of the tutorial. The cat was a total fart. I don't know if you saw the Facebook Live, but he's in almost every picture with his butthole in my, to edit him out of like every picture. Okay. I really don't know if I love that, but we'll just keep it. One thing I'm going to do is make the brush really big and go to a very low, like 10. So sometimes when I'm nervous that there might be a halo, then I kind of go like this to kind of blend her in. There we go. Okay, that definitely looks terrible. Actually, screen, what does overlay look like? No, overlay looks terrible. Soft light, nope. Okay, screen is the only one that makes sense, but it's just too much. But we can keep it like that, just for the sake of the tutorial. Okay. One thing I'm going to do, just because it bugs me, her big old grandma bra, there's nothing we can do there. Okay. I am going to, okay, sorry. Let's get some good background here and get rid of that strap. I hate cloning. I probably mention that in every single tutorial. Hate it, hate it. I think because I'm not a perfectionist, I'm always like, ugh. But that can be good enough. Okay, so now I'm just going to go to some actions. Let's see. One, I have Oh So Posh. Comes with a couple, you know, face, red skin. Let's see, eyes, an eye action, teeth action that I like, but the red I really like. My daughter had a red nose. She was actually a little cold in the woods. No sun, whatever. So you can see that there's a black layer mask here. So we want a white brush. I usually like painting the action on at 100 and then lowering it over here to like 30. And then go on, off, on, off. Like, okay, a little red in through here. It almost looks like her arm is a little bit red. And then we are going to flatten. I think she has a couple little boo-boos. I'm going to do Portrait Pro after, so I'm going to keep that in mind. Okay. I'm going to find some other actions. I don't have, I know it looks like I probably have a ton, but I really don't have a ton. Let's see what campfire. There's one called Deep Woods. Okay, we're going to let that run. So apparently Deep Woods is black and white, so we're not going to do that. My bad. Brown bear. Okay, that sounds interesting. Let's run that. So that looks like it has kind of a matte. I kind of like that look. We can keep it off for a second while we look. Like there's one called Ember. Let's see what. Okay, that's glitching out, so I don't know why. Looks the exact same. Let's see. There's one called Fall Colors. Let's see what that's all about. Oh, that is some fall colors. Let's expand this. Okay, so let's just say we like how this looks, but it's a little bright. Or we like it on the background, but we don't really like it on her. So we have a white mask over here, which means we get a black brush. So hit X. I don't want to take it off completely because I think the jump will be too stark. So we can do like, 30%. And again, if we do a boo-boo, then we just erase it, paint it back on. So we can see here what's going on. All right, I definitely like that a lot. I'm going to do something big right here and just kind of go like that to make sure we don't get any halos like I mentioned. Okay, those both seem the same, so I'm going to delete that one. And Ember is still... Okay, let's see what warmth does. Okay, same thing. It's a little bright, so we're going to go down to 28%. But if we want to take it off like her dress maybe, 30%, so we can just kind of paint it, paint it, paint it, paint it, paint it. So also the order of things makes a difference. Okay, I am going to just let's see. October foliage. Let's see what that is. Okay, so this I definitely want to take off of her skin. Whoops, it's actually that had a built-in layer, but I'm taking it off of her. That's very pretty. We keep it. Let's see, brush on marigold glitter. I don't even know what that means. Okay, so you can see this has a black mask, which is black conceals, so white reveals. So let's see what it's going to reveal. I don't know. Ooh. Okay, so, okay. Clearly this was not meant to be. So now I'm going to hit X and conceal over here because that just doesn't look right. But I do like tying into her dress the not over here for some reason. It's not working. But you can see I have my thumb, I have my middle finger on the X, so I'm kind of going off, off, off. Then I click it on, and then I'm going to lower the opacity to 3%. It's okay when things are not heavy-handed, you know. But I like deep in the woods that little splashy yellow that ties in her dress. It's pretty, so we're going to keep it. So I have an eye action. Oh, no, I wanted to do the Portrait Pro. Okay, so what I'm going to do is Portrait Pro is a plugin. So under the filter, wait a minute. Okay, Control J. I like doing it on a separate layer so I can show you before and after. Okay, we're going to run Portrait Pro. Now her face isn't square on, so sometimes it gets a little funky, but so you can tweak stuff, but I usually shut off the face sculpt or whatever it's called, because I think my daughter's just beautiful the way she is. Okay, let's see what it even does. No, we're going to shut that off because I like her round face and everything just the way it is. Right, so I like what the skin is doing. Okay, so this is the one, this is the most awesome thing that I love so much. So I said that the sun was over here. So we're going to drag this to where the sun, well, aka off-camera flash, is. Blah. Okay, we're going to do that. Okay, she doesn't need crazy cheekbones. Okay. I like the eyes. I don't like the mouth and nose. I usually leave hair off. I like the warm skin. And I'm going to leave that because I can fix it on the mask of the other thing. Okay, return from plugin. All right, so let's see what the final picture looks like. Okay. So that's pretty fancy. So the one thing I noticed is it got on her shoulder because the program couldn't recognize that her shoulder was up. So I can put a layer mask on Portrait Pro, which is what, white, so we need a black. Hit X. I'm going to just blend that in. Blend it off. Jet jet. Let me look at her hair. My gosh, I didn't bring the thing right up to the top. See the black line right here? Have to fix that and crop. Okay, no big deal. Okay, so I think I'm going to tone down the overall effect. Let's do 50%. I do love that though. Love, love, love. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and flatten. I'm going to just, actually, you know what? I'm not going to crop it because I like the aspect ratio that it is, but I can just get a little bitty. Oops. Anyway, I hope that made layer masks a little bit easier to understand. They're kind of fun to play with. You really got to just find an image and press all the buttons and do all the things and experiment and play and have fun. And if you have any questions, reach out. Okay, have a good one.